Look at this harvest. Every single tomato and pepper you see here was grown without a drop of expensive synthetic fertilizer. Imagine replacing chemical plant food with everyday kitchen trash and getting a larger harvest because of it. Today, we will extract 9 free minerals from wood ash and fish waste to engineer a zero-cost, self-feeding soil machine. And by the end, we will reveal a volcanic dust hack containing over 70 rare minerals that permanently transforms exhausted dirt. Sprinkling wet, used coffee grounds over a garden bed feels like a shortcut to disaster if you listen to old advice. There is a massive gardening myth about coffee grounds making your soil too acidic, but the chemistry tells a completely different story. Here is the truth. The acid that gives coffee its bitter bite is completely water-soluble. When you brew a pot, all that acid washes right out into your morning cup. What gets left behind in the filter is almost totally neutral, but it is packed with nitrogen-rich proteins. When soil bugs eat those proteins, they break them down into pure nitrogen fuel for your plants. You get a massive boost of leafy green growth without altering your soil's chemistry one bit. Eggshells consist of roughly 95% calcium carbonate. Your plants are probably starving for it right now. But those eggshells you buried are actually useless to your plants right now. We'll show you how to chemically unlock them in just a second. As Avi News puts it, contrary to popular belief, eggshells don't directly release soluble calcium into the soil. The calcium within it remains largely locked. Burying raw eggshells is like dropping a locked vault full of cash into your garden. The roots do not have the combination. To fix this, we use a technique from Korean natural farming, an agricultural system that uses fermented organic waste instead of chemicals. First, blast your wet, rubbery eggshells in the microwave for 2 minutes. This dries them out so you can snap them into a fine dust. Next, pour ordinary white vinegar over the dust. You will see a bubbling jar of crushed eggshells and vinegar. That reaction is the vinegar acting like a chemical crowbar. It cracks the eggshell vault open, converting the chalky calcium into a liquid your plants can drink immediately. Getting calcium right is critical because when tomatoes do not get enough, you end up with rotten, black bottoms. Though later on, you'll see why calcium usually isn't the real villain there. If you have a fire pit, you are sitting on a high-grade fertilizer that can multiply your harvest. White ash from a hardwood fire scattered across dark dirt can actually double a crop's yield. Wood ash causes a massive spike in potassium. When mixed into the dirt's water layer where roots drink, the potassium jumps to nearly 40 times the original amount. But it also upgrades your dirt, turning it from a leaky sieve into a thick, absorbent sponge that holds on to future nutrients. But there is a catch. Wood ash can actually contain toxic heavy metals like zinc and cadmium. But remember that coffee myth about acid? Here is where soil chemistry actually matters. Wood ash is highly alkaline. Adding it to acidic dirt is like dropping an antacid tablet into a sour stomach. It neutralizes the acid fast. That is great for most vegetables, but if you put it near acid-loving crops like blueberries or potatoes, it will shock their roots and stunt their growth completely. The Royal Horticultural Society notes that commercial fertilizers are concentrated sources of plant nutrients, calling them a form of feeding to rapidly boost growth. But chemical fertilizers are just fast food. If you want real biological engine fuel, you need fish waste. Dark, stinking fish emulsion soaking into the roots is incredibly powerful. But burying raw fish scraps directly under a tomato plant requires patience. Roots cannot eat raw meat. You have to feed that tough steak to microscopic soil bugs first, so they can cut it up into bite-sized pieces. Once the bacteria digest those complex proteins, they sweat out plant-available nitrates and phosphorus. It is a completely closed loop. The ocean's waste becomes the garden's engine. If building self-feeding biological systems is your goal, we drop new blueprints weekly. You do not just want your plants to eat, you want them to explode. Seaweed does not just feed your garden basic minerals, it acts like a natural steroid. Kelp delivers raw growth hormones directly into the soil. It is loaded with cytokinins and auxins. Think of these hormones like a shot of espresso that wakes the plant up and triggers rapid development. Cytokinins tell the plant to push out dozens of new shoots and leaves, while auxins drive the roots deeper into the dirt. You are forcing your plants to grow faster and stronger, using hormones borrowed straight from the ocean, all without spending a dime on synthetic chemicals. Ground-up animal bones provide an instant blast of phosphorus and calcium. If your plants are struggling to set heavy fruit, bone meal provides an instant blast of phosphorus. But there is a catch that the garden centers ignore. The chemical structure that locks calcium and phosphorus together inside bones only dissolves if your soil is acidic. If your dirt is highly alkaline, maybe because you just added a bunch of wood ash, the bone meal just sits there like rocks. Trying to get alkaline dirt to absorb bone meal is like trying to dissolve a hard sugar cube in ice-cold water. The chemistry simply will not allow it. If your pH is wrong, buying expensive bone meal is a total waste of money. If you want a slow, constant trickle of minerals over several seasons, look to the ocean floor. Greensand is a green-tinted sandstone packed with marine minerals. Specifically, it is loaded with glauconite, an iron-rich mineral dug from ancient seabeds. Farmers have used this green, sandy dirt for hundreds of years. Unlike the fast food spike of chemical fertilizers, greensand is the ultimate slow-release system. It constantly trickles potassium and iron into the garden year after year. It does not wash away in heavy rain. Instead, it slowly feeds your dirt, copying a centuries-old farming secret right in your backyard. You have probably heard the hype about crushing up granite and basalt to remineralize your soil. These rocks are loaded with primary silicates, hard mineral structures that hold massive potential. But you have to understand the timeline. The natural weathering process breaks these rocks down using rain and microbes. That process is incredibly slow. Relying on basalt rock dust to feed your current tomatoes is like watching a glacier slowly carve a mountain. It takes years to make a difference. When you mix granite dust into your beds, you are not feeding this season's harvest. You are investing in the dirt for 5 years from now. If your plants are starving today, basic rock dust will not save them. But there is one rock dust that breaks all the rules. Remember that volcanic hack we mentioned earlier? It is called Azomite. This is a unique, mineral-rich volcanic ash mined from Utah, and it packs over 70 trace minerals and rare earth elements that standard fertilizers completely miss. Modern agriculture strips these microscopic elements out of the ground and never puts them back. Just a handful of this fine, gray volcanic dust blending into your potting soil is enough to permanently remineralize a small garden bed. You are reintroducing dozens of missing elements back into exhausted dirt in a matter of days. President Franklin D. Roosevelt said it best in 1937. The nation that destroys its soil destroys itself. Azomite is how you rebuild it. And here is the wild part. You see those rotten black bottoms of calcium-starved tomatoes? We opened this video talking about liquid eggshells to fix calcium deficiency. But when a tomato rots from the bottom, adding more calcium to the soil usually will not fix it. It is actually a watering glitch. If the soil dries out completely and then gets flooded, the plant's plumbing shuts down. The dirt can be full of calcium, but the roots simply cannot pull it up into the fruit. To fix nutrient uptake issues permanently, you have to take the human error out of watering. Click the video on your screen to see how we engineered a zero-cost, automated irrigation system that never forgets to water. When you stop throwing away kitchen scraps and fire ash, you stop relying on industrial supply chains. You trade expensive chemicals for a biological machine that runs itself. That is the power of a closed-loop system. We will see you next time. If you liked this, 7 biohacks that force cuttings to root without store-bought hormone, that's the next one.